Talking to Charlton manager Karl Robinson ahead of Saturday's trip to Peterborough. Karl, as the season nears its climax, you've made no secret of the fact that players will be coming and others going. Are you talking about root and branch change? For example, the club have parted company with its chief scout. Could there be other departures behind the scenes?
Yeah. I think it's important to... I've always said about a healthy club is full of people who have an appetite and a desire to move forward, and that's not to say people who've been and gone didn't have that. There's got to be a freshness to it. There's got to be some sort of consistency in the structural change, so it may seem from the outside, mate, that not a lot of things sort of go on, because on the pitch it's not like the performance have got drastically better, the results have got drastically better, far from what we want it to be. But sometimes some of the good work that goes on, not by me, by a lot of people in the building, sometimes goes a little bit unnoticed, and that had to be done. In some ways, Russell started it in the summer. That had to be carried on. The transition of mentality, culture, an appetite to play for this club, and an appetite to work for this club. Like I said, I've never hid the fact that I count myself as being very fortunate to be sat here speaking to you as the manager of Charlton Athletic. There's not a day goes by that I don't drive in them gates at Sparrows Lane and not get excited about what challenges are going to come my way in the day, and there's many. Or turn up at the Valley for a home game, and so this is the way it's got to be. It's got to be this one common goal, and people feel like they're fortunate to be here rather than us fortunate to have them. And I think that's, and by the way, there's so many good people here that I'm really looking forward to continuing the relationships that we're building. But every successful team has to go through a transition, and it's part of the process now. And a manager's job will always be judged by the results. And if I'm being judged by the results this far, they've been nowhere near good enough. But I'm willing to take that criticism, because my focus has been on other aspects of the club and other areas of coaching and development and academy development and structural change within the building. So there's so many things that I attach myself to first, that the foundations of the new DNA and the new way. And when I say new, it's almost an integration of the old. And listening to fans, because I've done that, as you well know. I've listened to the fans, I've listened to people speak. I get stopped on a constant basis by very passionate fans who are very driven to succeed here, for the team to succeed. In the midst of everything that's going on externally to the football club, that I have to be very, very forward thinking in how we do things. And it's been very hard. It's been a difficult 3-4 months, but it's been very, very exciting, and one that I've really enjoyed.
Have you replaced the chief scout yet?
I don't think it's going to be something that we are looking to do immediately. I'll be honest with you, it's not something that we had in mind. We've interviewed 1 or 2 people. I want somebody who has attained a pro licence. I want somebody who's been a coach. I want somebody who knows what it's like to be on the grass. And I just wanted my own person. And Steve was very, very talented at what he did. And the people that he brought with him are equally as talented. But I have a way, and that's not to say that his way wasn't right. Everybody has the way of doing things, and we made the decision. He's a wonderful person and very talented. I'm sure he'll have a number of jobs waiting for him. So it's but I want to do things my way in some ways, and that's what I have to do. I have to be bold enough to accept that challenge.
Jason Pearce went on record this week saying that no player at this club should feel complacent about the future. Have any players been told whether they have or have not a future here?
No. I think 1 or 2 contracts will tell you that they all have a future here, but it's more of a future whether they play. Not saying they're on trial, but every game is an opportunity to prove to me that they deserve to wear our shirt next year. Every day I come in, I have to prove my worth, to wear the badge and to wear their training kit. So we all have to prove every day. One game doesn't make you a good player. 2 games certainly equally doesn't make you a good player. Winning leagues and gaining promotion makes you a good player. Consistently doing it makes you a very good player. So time will tell whether we're good or bad. But the mentality has to be of one of where 1 game isn't enough, 2 games isn't enough. It's a consistent performance levels and work ethic that's needed from the first weekend in August to the last weekend in April this year, or the first weekend in May, maybe when the season finishes next year. But it's that. They've been told pre-season they are in the off-season as well. So when they finish, they will be in the middle of that, which isn't necessarily done. There'll be a checkpoint of what they have to be in and to show that they are on course to be ready. I don't want to start pre-season from the bottom. I want the players to come back thin, fresh, fit, and ready to go. So I want to be 2 weeks ahead of the rest, and that's going to be the mentality. When they're away, they can have the break for 3 or 4 weeks. It's a long break this year, the longest break that most clubs have ever had, and I think that period of time is too long to lose complete control of your players. Every player gets paid through the summer, so we've got 4 dates in the off season which the players are looking to report, and we can see where they're at during that. So when they come back, they have very clear guidelines of where they have to be and what they have to be doing. And I'm sorry if that's military or regimented, but it's discipline, and it's I just love working hard, and I want the players to love working hard. And if we can find that fluidity and find the DNA and find a positive culture, we'll be successful. But the change is the hard bit, because they have to see past the change and see to the success that the change will bring.
Charlton have had a 2-week break because of the international weekend. Will the likes of Chris Solly, Jason Pearce, Josh McGuinness be available to you at Peterborough on Saturday?
2 will be in the squad. Whether that's to start, I'm not going to tell Grant that, but they'll see him at the team sheet on Saturday.
But that injury list is getting much shorter now.
I think as we sit now, there's 8 players out. Inclusive Roger, Harry. Obviously, there's players who are on a long-term list. There's 4 on the long-term list. There's 3 in the amber list, and there's 3 or 4 ready to return. So it's looking. It's very shortly there'll be first team players that I don't have to take in the squad. I've not had that since I walked in the building.
Next up on Tuesday is the visit of your former club MK Dons, and the club are paying a special tribute to season ticket holder PC Keith Palmer, who lost his life as a result of the terror incident at Westminster last week. I believe the players are donating all their appearance money. How did that come about?
Me and Jack had a conversation. I think every fan, first and foremost, that every fan that associates himself with this club has a part to play in our hearts, and we play for them every day of our life. When somebody tragically loses their life protecting us and the British public, we have then a duty of care to support the people who are left behind. And as soon as I found out, I didn't want to make a statement because I didn't want to speak without the family knowing. I think it was time for people need to grieve and people need to have their own time. And then it's, what can we do? It's a tragic event, and I think everybody's been very open in their thoughts. But we do stand together as a nation. I'm proud to be from this country, and I'm proud of our justice system, and proud of our police, and proud of our fire brigade. Anybody who's willing to put their life at risk for us deserves the respect and deserves the thoughts and the wishes and the prayers that go to the family. And it's a very small price to pay. Money, what you can do with it, it's got no relevance. the greatest gift that we're all given is life, and there'll be certain people that wake up now without a husband or a father. It's never going to help, because no amount of money can ever rectify a life. It's about us making sure we can do the best we possibly can, and to show that we care. I think it's an unbelievable gesture from the players. People look at it and go, well, it's what you should do. Well, it's what they wanted to do. It's not what they need or have to, it's what they want. And I think that people support, and certainly Keith Palmer certainly supported this club, and we hope that we can do him proud in how we celebrate his life in some ways, and be there for his family. So I think 50% of the gate receipts is an amazing gesture. I think the players just off their own back wanting to do something. I've seen the shirt. I think it's very poignant with his police number. I think it is, and the date and at the back thing, hashtag we stand together. I think it just really shows you that you're not just a number here. Certainly not. Well, you're not to me, you're not to my players, you're not to the club. You're part of a family, and we stick together through the good times and the bad times. And this event has certainly shook us. It's certainly rocked the nation, and somebody protecting us to lose a life, it's not right. And I think it's a very classy, a very respectful thing that we show our appreciation. It's going to be a very difficult evening. I know it's MK Dons, it's a club close to my heart, and I know they will conduct themselves impeccably well. I know that. I know the fans of MK Dons very well. Great people. We'll stand together. It's about us all being one, a unified group, and I think it's the least that we could do. It's the least that we could do.
Just to clarify the point, Johnny Jackson, the club captain, came to you and said, we'd like to make this gesture.
Yeah, I think he sat with the players. We'd spoke, me and Jacko, what could we do? Obviously at the back end of it, then we were speaking about if the shirt's got something on it, can we then auction these off to make more money for the charity? So, and then he just said, listen, if it was nice the way it was put by the players. I know this might sound silly, Gaffer, it's not enough in some ways, but is there any way we could do it with our payments money? Listen, whatever they can do is enough. And like I say, it's nothing really. I think it just shows you Johnny Jackson is and the team and the way the players have conducted themselves, impeccable. And I think it was a real nice gesture. But like I said to you before, I'd much rather not be doing it. And you know the reasons behind that. We shouldn't have to be doing it. He still should be here watching the game on Tuesday evening.
Karl Robinson, thank you very much.
Cheers, thank you.
Carl, just staying on that theme, it's going to be an emotional night on Tuesday. Do you hope a lot of the fans come back just for that one game with all the things going on around the club?
I don't think it's time to talk about the negativity. I don't think it's about us, them, we. It's together we can show how great this club is, to support one of our own. But football in general, we get a lot of criticism in this industry, but whenever there's something the industry stands up and is there to be counted. And I understand the facets and the fragments of the football club that aren't working right now, but there's good people, and this isn't about what we believe in. This is about being a good person
and doing the right thing.
Always in life. If you can only do it for a day, it's not enough. One great man says to me, what's more important to being a good footballer very young is being a good person. And this club is stood up to many things in the past, And once again, we've been dealt with something that we have to look after one of our own, and it's family. And it's hard. It's hard because we shouldn't. It doesn't make sense.
No.
It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. It doesn't. Like I say, it's
not something we can comprehend, is it?
No.
And you just have to deal with it the best you can.
And I think as a club, it's the family now. It's the family. It's what the family wants, and it's how we stand together against this. Because like I say, when somebody can be stood there for us and lose their life, it makes no sense. But we have to conduct ourselves as good people now, and this is a chance for us to just to be there for people that need us.
Yeah. Going back to the football, is this your biggest challenge in football, would you say? The whole change, everything that's going on around the club, the changes you're making.
The most exciting,
it's a big task, isn't it?
probably the most exciting one of my life, because the sorry, it's hard to talk about football and you just come off the back of that last question. People have got a lot greater fights than what I've got. But yeah, as a job, we it's going to be hard, but it's one that I have to embrace. And the positives of this, doing this now, is the reward will be far greater for the fans. And you know what? This time of what we do at the MK Dons game once again shows to me how important this club is to people.
They're passionate about the club, aren't they?
Yeah. So when you do it for people who care, it makes you want to care for them. And that continued support that they've given us, and we spoke before about the different facets that are. I get that. I understand their arguments. I understand, but this club can be great again. And like I said, it's not a challenge. It's something to embrace. It's an exciting moment, and we all wait for moments in careers and history that we grasp onto and go, this isn't working. How can we change this? And the one is finding a common goal amongst us all to drive this football club in the right direction. And it's one that I'm certainly going to enjoy the challenge. I'm going to fall out with people. I'm going to make decisions that people don't agree with. Short-term decisions don't come round. Don't really please many people because they don't see the mid or long-term gain. But I have to make decisions for the mid and long term. People say that's brave at this club. But I can't treat this like I'm here just for today. I have to treat tomorrow will arrive. And once you talk about tomorrows and weeks and months, the constant message to the team, to the academy players, to the 23s who got beat the other night, who were excellent, so up to a very physical challenge and who were very young, seeing their growth, seeing their development, seeing where some of them could fit into the first team, to see where I do need to recruit, don't need to recruit, and that thought process of looking past today, but understanding today is still equally important. It is one that you need to embrace, and yeah, it's a difficult one, but it's. I don't think any manager will be able to sit in front of any press team today and say their job's easy. So we all have equally difficult jobs.
Has it been a nice 2 weeks in that respect? Sort of few
do you know what? It's been yeah. I was ill Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Just typical, isn't it? You have a day off and you're not well, but it was nice to see my family. And again, with what's happened this week, sometimes we neglect our families as going to work. It does. Yeah, be able to kiss your daughter good night and be able to take her to school, the moments that live with you forever.
You only get that one moment.
You do, and the problem is in this industry when they're so young, and all of a sudden you can't talk about the memories that you had with your kids. So it was nice to spend a lot of time with my daughter. It was nice to spend time with the wife, and well, not as much as my daughter, but it was nice to spend time with them. And it was it just really recharged the batteries. And it was only 3 days, but it was 3 days that our bodies and minds needed. We came in on Monday. The players will tell you that I think they'd rather play than train with me on a Monday and Tuesday without a game, because it was hard. I got a lot of running testing done. I know where they all are physically. Got more of the fat testing done, which was important. The hydration testing reintroduced, so there's a lot of testing now. Fit to train, fit to perform, and that's going to be right the way through, from the 18s to 23s to the first team. The 18s need to look at a player in the first team and go, wow, look how dedicated he is, look at his body fat, look at the distance that he covers. And then they should be able to see someone in the 23s and go, well, he's nearly there, I have to be at that before I can get to that. So we need to find a DNA, a discipline, there's a common goal and a common pathway. And I know I'm judged on results, I get that, and the results aren't great at the moment, but stick with what we're trying to do, because I know how to get it right. I've done it before. I've started something at one club, and we built 2 or 3, 4 years, and it was different because I didn't have the financial support maybe that I've got here today. So I can speed that process up. So it's about building a club.
People know you're the right man for the job.
It's not about building a team, because the team will come as a process of building the club. And you know what? Making people want to buy a scarf and wear it with pride on a Saturday. Want to put a shirt on a Saturday morning. Listen, I've done it as a fan. There's nothing better at midday on a Saturday putting your club colours on. And knowing as you go walk down the roads to the game, or getting on a tube, or do whatever you do, sitting in traffic in London, that you know you're going to find a dedicated team at the end of your journey. And that team has to be, that's the product of the process of finding the perfect product is all the disciplines. And I'm really, it's a hard one, but it's one that we have to embrace. And I'm really looking forward to continuing. I think we played very well on Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago. It's nice to say that, against Sheffield United. I thought we deserved a lot more. I know their managers said we never, but for me, the game I seen, we were the better team. So, and they're the best team in the league. They are far better than us because the league tells you that. But I'm seeing in 45, 15, 60, periodically, what I want to see. And it's about bridging that and finding the ones who consistently perform to them levels. Sheffield United champions, or will be champions, because they've consistently performed to a level. Because they have a discipline, and the manager's done an amazing job to get them to the point they got to at the moment. And we have to find that consistency in our team. And that, I think that is fundamentally because you have to build rules and regulations that the players abide by and stick to. Make them feel passionate to play for the club, because people who pay to watch you are passionate about their club. And
that's what you hope to get out of the next 7 games, a consistency, and they're all playing for their futures, as you say.
Yeah, I think people say obviously 6 points should be, I think people need 6, but everyone's looking at 52, 53 as being the number, then you can, but it's not about maybe getting a Saturday, or we want to get a Saturday, we want to get it, we would love to win the next 2, but it's about getting them within the next sort of few games, and then, but just saying, yeah, the players, listen, they've really changed, the mentality's at a bit of a switch. I think people have, Johnny Jackson's done a great job, he really has. I think he's really guided the club in a very difficult time. He's been the one constant, him and Souls. Unfortunately, I don't like telling them that much, but they'll know now. But they're an invaluable part of what we're trying to do here. And they've been the constant. And I think they sometimes need a pat on the back, because it's important that they understand they're appreciated by me. And the rest will follow. I think Ricky Holmes, in the last, since I've been in the building, has equally been. Yeah, a lot of other players have been injured in and out and stuff like that, but these are the ones who. So I want people to stay here next year. People will know very shortly who they'll be, and once I want someone to stay, it's about me saying to them, listen, come on the journey, jump on, because, like I say, it's going to be a difficult one. It's going to be up and down. It's going to be all over the place, but we've got to fight together, and that's how we have to be over the next 7 games, 2 months in the off season, pre-season, I think it's already been noted. I spoke to someone the other day about obviously where we're going.
Yeah. Is there a special? That's a special place as far as you're concerned.
Yeah, yeah. Ireland's a wonderful country and amazing people. I'm not an advocate to going to Spain. They've had 2 months to go on holiday. They don't need any more sun. I'm not going there to make people happy.
No.
I think when you go to Austrias and places like that, you have a food and a language barrier. So then you got the flights to deal with. The flight for me is what, 45-50 minutes in Dublin. The hotel's 15 minutes. Portmarnock is a place where the national team have set their camp up for the last.
Great facility.
It's a stunning place. They'll be on the beach every morning, 7 o'clock running. They'll be on the training ground at 11 o'clock every day, which the pitch is outstanding. And they'll be at the gym every night at 5 o'clock.
No sunbeds.
Sleep and train. Sleep, eat and train.
Yeah. That's what you're there for. It's a job, isn't it?
And that's why I do. That's why I go so quick, because I find that we come in for 3 days testing, the periodisation of getting themselves to a level, and we want to control their life then for the next 10 days. Because I think when you go away, a lot of teams go away later for the games, which is great, but the first 3 weeks in pre-season are huge. It gives you a baseline, and what structure allows you to do is to reduce the injury level, touch wood. Now, I can't always say they're not going to get contact injuries, but a controlled, difficult pre-season gives you a baseline for the rest of the season. How many players do you hear, I was injured in pre-season and didn't have a good pre-season? How many times do you hear that? So why, when pre-season comes around, do we want it to be easy? If they always say when they don't have an hard one that they didn't have the fitness levels to go into the season. So, and you know what, in the summer, and I know it was hard in the summer because obviously Rush came in quite late. I think pre-season, because obviously the turnover, what happened, there was no, and that's one of the criticisms in the summer, that there was no recruitment, there was no scouting, there was no manager, there was no, so it was hard then. It'd be impossible for me if I just turned up, all right, what have you got? Where now, they know, already we know what they were starting, what they were flying, what our games are, who most of our games are against. They already know the 4 days off in pre-season now. We've got, that's ready. There's no excuses. No. And you know, it's, if you're a player, I think it's a good time. Because we can't do any worse, can we? No. So it's a case of we can only do better. So it's about finding that constant, and it's about, I've been told the budget will be there. That's positive. It's always the most difficult meeting of the year. Being told the club are going to work hard from the board to give me what I need. I've been told that I'm completely in control of the players that I want to bring in.
What else is there?
Over to you. Yeah. And I have to face the consequences if it doesn't work. So let's not finger point. We get it wrong, it's because of me. That's as simple as it's got to be, isn't it? It's a great place for the manager to be, but I'm putting myself under a lot of pressure.